They're almost given like little vouchers so that we know. We've never denied anyone. We actually have families that will show at our door at the Harvest warehouse. They would not be turned away. What we may do is try and find an agency and get them hooked up with that agency that best suits their need and their community.
Is that enough information to ask for a motion?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Thank you, Janine, for that.
Okay, Mr. Holmes?
That's it for me.
Thank you very much. I'd like to get into new business now with 10.01 board member study request. We should have up there requests for studies that per policy we'd like to get board approval before we move forward. Hopefully everybody sees them on their agenda. And I would like to ask for a motion or whatever on any, all.
I'll make a motion for 10.01. He's asking for 5 things, so I bring 4.
That's 1, 2, 4, 5.
4.
I got 4 actually.
Slaughter now.
Yep.
All right, so I'll go for the 4 that are being requested. I make a motion.
Okay. Second. Any discussion?
Yes, Mr. President. Yes, Mr. President. When you make a statement, a board member study request, words do have meaning. It's not a study. It's asking for facts and figures. And let me, for the public's consumption, I personally have asked for copies of audio recordings of all board and COW meetings and still requesting. When can I expect the audio copies? Mr. O'Toole and Mr. Hall at the February COW meeting stated that the monetary figures on page 37 and 38 of the preliminary budget 16-17, the PowerPoint presentation, was going to be provided to the board at the March COW meeting as a listing of costs, salaries, etc., to validate the stated cost on page 37 and 38. I've also asked for an individual fiscal year computer extraction of legal fees, series 300, for the past 3 years. Have not yet received it. This is not considered a research or study. It is readily available within 10 to 20 minutes from the computer software search. I have called several school district business managers and they verified the quick search. I have also asked for a copy of the contract agreement between the district and the solicitor, who is a partner and shareholder of the Knox law firm, relative to legal fees. I have not yet received these documents or facts and figures. And I think the board knows quite clearly, and the public knows quite clearly, that these are available under a right to know. And as an elected school board director, we have access to all documents in the school district. Thank you.
Will we be voting on this as a group, or can we separate them out as individual items?
Well, there's a motion on the floor for the group.
Second.
Second.
I'm just saying, if we want, can we vote on them separately, or do we have to vote on them all as one?
Yeah, we can separate them out.
Yeah, you can make a motion to
Well, we have a motion on the floor, we'll just vote separate.
Right.
Okay.
amend the motion. I have a question. The audio recordings, Is there a plan to have all audio recordings of all board meetings in the future?
The Supreme Court
I'm just, if you want,
issues the audio presentation by government and by the plaintiff. They have it available. An audio recording is a public document according to the open records law.
I'm not arguing that, I just,
In order to justify, in order to document, in order to validate and verify what has been said at board meetings or COW meetings, etc., you take recordings. We do not have.
I know, I'm not arguing that, believe me.
Okay.
Do you have a smartphone?
Pardon?
A smartphone?
No, I do not.
Okay, I will, I'll record them, I'll give them.
No, this has to be,
Not
and again,
in the past, in the future, I will.
yeah.
Okay.
Mr. Pike,
I
I am asking
know.
the recording, the official recording, not a personal recording or any type of electronic device. I've asked the superintendent for a copy. And I've also asked the president of the school board for a copy.
I know,
Okay?
I know.
Now, if you want to deny it, that's fine. That's fine. I will submit a right to know tomorrow morning. We have to be transparent to the public, and we are not. My statements, what I have stated during these meetings from January, actually from December 1st, have not been documented in the minutes. And this is part of your government. You have a right to know. You have every right to know what is going on at these meetings. Why are they not videotaped? Well, anyone of the public at the present time can write and write to know for an audio tape of the COW meeting in February. And you are entitled to it. As a school board director, it's abhorrent that I have not yet received it.
Okay.
Just a quick question, Mr. Hosmer. Do we have all the audio recordings from January up to present?
No.
By policy, by our retention policy, and process that we use after minutes are approved, audios are deleted.
So we would only have those available, which ones are available?
Whichever
Well,
meetings we have in approved minutes for you.
Let's go forward to see if we want to.
Okay. I just wanted to take
Yeah,
out.
okay. All right, any other comments?
I have a question,
Yes, sir.
yes or no? Are all of these available on the right to know?
If they exist.
Okay, presuming that they exist.
If a document exists, I haven't reviewed it, obviously, if Mr. Aliota submits a right to know request, we can review it and make sure they're out there. And we'll review it at that point.
Yeah, I mean, if it's approved.
If it's approved and
We'll
they exist,
go
we
forward.
provide it.
Sure.
Yeah, and Mr. Senate, have you received any copies of correspondence that I sent to Mr. Hall, Mr. Kavilka, and Mr. DePlacido relative to issues of copies? Have you received it? Have you seen it?
Rather than,
No.
I'd rather go forward and, I mean, if it goes forward, all these things will, you know, whatever happens will happen. So we have a motion, we have a second. Is there any further comment on these motions? On this motion, I should, right, there's one?
Yeah, I had lumped them together, unless we break
Wait,
them out.
Donna has it, I'm sorry, Donna, could you repeat that, please?
Yeah, we are voting whether to approve all these new requests or not.
Yes?
Okay, I just want to be clear on what I'm voting.
Mr. Kabilka voted for, made a motion for all four of them that are listed in the agenda.